You can do that in a 12-team league because there's still enough depth everywhere. I think I want to build this evenly, not even with like quarterbacks and tight ends and everything, but I want to build up running back and wide receiver kind of at the same level. So we're going to start off like this. I think that's a good start. I would like to get kind of like a Rex Burkhead, Jamal Williams pick here. Hopefully a wide receiver falls, and then I can get one of those two at the next pick. But wide receivers are flying off the board. Jeez, wow. Okay. So, no, okay. The only running backs I want in this range are KJ Burkhead and Jamal Williams. I don't want these guys, at least in this like third round. So those are all the ones I'm even looking at. I would consider like Gronk and Rodgers at this point. I wouldn't consider Rodgers, probably the fourth round. I guess it's Josh Gordon. Like, I see a drop-off after Josh Gordon into this range. And although I like a lot of those guys, I think the upside is just immense with Gordon. I know he has the hamstring, but they said he's good to go in practice. Hopefully he doesn't hurt it this week. But we're drafting on Tuesday, so he'll have already practiced for a day. So at least I have 1 day under the belt for him being healthy. A lot of people are jumping ship. I don't know why. It's Josh Gordon. He's Josh Gordon. Don't be concerned. He doesn't need a hamstring because he's Josh Gordon. That's a joke, but I like him still. So, good. Yeah. All these wide receivers are the same, so I'm going to pick one of them up at the 5th round, and we're going to build evenly, like I said, and take one of the running backs. I still haven't decided if I want Burkhead or Jamal Williams. That's up to you guys when you're drafting. I will say that both of them carry their own risk. Burkhead has more injury concerns because he's had more injury concerns in the past. But Burkhead is on a team where he's pretty much the goal line back. You know, it's not Jeremy Hill. Don't think that Jeremy Hill is going to do anything. It's not James White, although he'll be used in goal line packages, definitely. He'll still have some touchdowns. But I think James White's going to be more like a slot receiver to start the season. And we know that Sonny Michel is going to come on slowly. So I'm a New England fan as well. And so I'm going to take Burkhead. I've taken both of them in a lot of leagues. A lot of my leagues have both of them in that like 4th, 5th round turn in a 12-team league. I'm hoping that he'll be there, but I highly doubt he lasts until my pick. Oh, it's happening. Yeah, I don't think it's going to last. I can pray that it will tomorrow, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get that. So we've got McCaffrey, Burkhead, AJ Green, Josh Gordon. Good start. Good start. I'll say that Peyton Barber's still there, and Adrian Peterson's still there, and I'm pretty sure I can get Morris late. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. Yeah. Just looking at the people who got drafted. Yeah. So I would take Crabtree here if he fell. I really like Crabtree. I would take Emmanuel Sanders if he fell. I would have liked Crowder, but I'm still on the fence over Crowder. I think a lot of what's left is the same and is still going to be there in a round because I think quarterbacks and tight ends are going to keep trickling in. So I'm going to take Peyton Barber here. He's pretty clearly above some of the rest of the guys on this list. And I don't think there's any risk. And I'm trying to avoid risk, at least in these first 6 rounds of this league, because there's so many teams that I don't want to draft like Josh Gordon and a bunch of other risky players, because if I bust, free agency is going to be gross. So I want to be pretty safe, and I feel pretty safe about McCaffrey, Burkhead, Barber. I feel good to go there. So I can take some shots now on running backs. I still do need a safe wide receiver, and I really want Aguilar in the next round, I think. Yeah. That's also the issue I was running into. I really think Funch is a great pick here, but I don't want to take Funchess and McCaffrey. So I'm going to pray Aguilar's there at the next round. And maybe I take Sammy Watkins, who's got a horrible connection right now with Mahomes. But they're just starting out, and that team's going to be so bad on defense that they're going to need to throw a lot. So I still think Watkins is a good pick. I just think I should go AP. I see a pretty significant drop into this this next tier. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to take Adrian Peterson. We're going to hope that we can get Aguilar in the next round, Alfred Morris in that next round, and then probably 2 wide receivers after that. That would be the ideal start. And I know I didn't even mention quarterback, and that is a concern in a league this deep if people start taking him, so I have to be cautious. But I still feel comfortable when we're in this Prescott, Dalton, Bortles range. I'm cool there. I just don't want to look and see that range gone. So I do need to keep that in mind. I'm cool at tight end because I don't think people are going to really be drafting Ricky Seals or Hooper or ASJ. And those are guys that I like late with Vance as well. But Vance is actually moving up. So I think I'm fine there. That is an unfortunate thing that Aguilar went. So what's the plan now? I don't like Woods. I don't like Shepard. It's Benjamin Cole, John Brown. I think John Brown will be there at that next pick. I think Morris is going to be here the whole time. I'm going to take Morris here because I'm going to take John Brown. I'm trying to think who's more likely to get taken, and it's really neither of them right now, but come tomorrow, I think people are going to be... I don't really know. I think people would take John Brown ahead of Morris, but I don't really know what would happen. But the pick here is Alfred Morris. I have him as a 6th round grade, so getting him in the 8th in a deep league is nice. I guess I can talk about that now. I'll open this up so you guys can see the draft board. So McKinnon's out for the year, and it's down to Morris, and it's down to Breida. Breida, however you say it. I don't think Breida's that good. He showed flashes in preseason, but I personally don't think he's all that good. And he's way overhyped as a receiving back. He was not good in college. He was not good last season. So to say that Morris is going to get nothing is like Breida's going to get more, but Morris isn't going to get nothing. And Morris is going to get goal line. They trust him on early downs. And on a high-scoring offense, don't you want the early down and goal line back? Like, isn't he Jordan Howard? He's the Jordan Howard role, and Breida's the Tariq Cohen role. So why do we pick and choose the teams that we want the pass-catching back over the other guy? When we just like pick and choose to fit our own narrative. Morris is going to be involved in the receiving game when he's on the field. It's not like they're not going to use him. He's still going to have some receptions. It's not going to be a lot. He's going to be kind of like Adrian Peterson. But he's going to get a lot of carries, and he's going to get goal line. And I want that on an established guy instead of Breida, who's never shown us he can, A, stay healthy for a long stretch, and be used. You know, people were all off of McKinnon because he couldn't stay on the field. Why? That's the exact same thing with Breida. He's never going to be a guy that even if Morris went down, they're never just going to feed Breida. Whereas Morris has shown us he can handle that and he can be an RB1. So Morris has RB1 upside, Breida doesn't. And at this point in the draft, I'm good with my running backs. I'm not trying to get 4th place in this league. I'm trying to like actually draft a team that... Hold on. I'm going to cheat here. Just so I have enough time to talk. I'm trying to draft a team that can win. You know, there are 15 other teams here. Even in the 12, there's 11 other teams. I'm not trying to get 3rd and 4th place. And Breida is a great way to get 3rd and 4th place. But if you actually think that in your championship week, you're going to be starting Matt Breida, that's ridiculous because you're not going to be in the championship if your team has to start him. So maybe in a 30-team league or a 32-team league, you could start him, but if you actually think you're starting Matt Breida, like, for anything in the playoffs, that's a wasted pick, in my opinion. Which is why I don't really draft those, like, scat backs late. I try and draft those wide receivers late and get the running backs early. Because, yes, they're going to get points. Yes, they're going to finish in, like, 27, and they're going to crush their ADP. But you never started them because they never had the upside to be started. Morris has the upside to be started. That's what we go for. That's why I don't think Breida's a good pick at all. I have him as a 10th round grade, but I probably wouldn't draft him because I'm probably going to be drafting Morris. I have him already in 4 of 5 leagues. Unfortunately, I couldn't get him in all, but I don't think Breida is even close to the pick, and a lot of people are saying Breida is a better pick, and that just doesn't make sense to me. You're doing the math wrong. Like, you're just trying to plot out more receptions, more PPR points without thinking about upside. Could he finish with more points? Absolutely. But he will never be a guy that you're starting to win your championship. That's what I want. Let's use this cheap pause to look, because I didn't have time to look. Wide receivers: Anthony Miller, Geronimo Allison, Dede, John Ross. I would like to scroll this part, please. I'm off Taywan Taylor now. Don't be drafting him anymore. They'd refuse to use him properly, so we can't start him on our teams. Rashard Matthews is fine because they're going to use him. Even if you get down to this range, like, I can't remember if we're at a 6 or 7 team or 7 bench spots, but we're looking at Albert Wilson, Mike Wallace while Alshon's out. We can look at Traquan Smith potentially getting some action for the Saints. He looks really good this preseason. I'm sure this guy's down here. Sanu's somewhere down here. That's probably it. But I just wanted to highlight, like, even in a deep league, there's a ton of guys you can still draft. Cordarrelle's one of the 3 wide. Philip Dorsett is the number 2 wide receiver for Tom Brady. Tyrell Williams, people refuse to draft him. Cortland Sutton has upside if they either trade DT or if they just replace him. I don't think they'll replace him, but they could trade him, and he's going to be the 3, so why not draft him? Danny Amendola can be drafted, but I don't really know. Like, he's fine, but he's another guy where it's like you're never... Like, I'd rather draft Cortland Sutton, because at least Cortland Sutton has the upside to be started for me. In this range, remember it's Breida, but remember it's not. Oh, it's gross. Nice. It's real gross. So John Kelly has upside, because he looks awesome if someone were to go down there, but it's gross. So let's go with the wide receiver, and let's resume, so I'm not a complete cheater. Oh, they gave me the full 2. Who would we take here? Is he actually hurt? Let me click. I haven't heard anything about Lockett. I don't know what the questionable means. But Anthony Miller looks really good at football. So let's take Anthony Miller. I've heard reports that it's like, oh, he's the next Antonio Brown. Let's pump the brakes on that, but he looks really good. So what's our team? Running backs: McCaffrey, Rex Burkhead, Peyton Barber, AP, Alfred Morris. Could you imagine at the beginning of the summer if I told you that I would have Peyton Barber, Adrian Peterson, and Alfred Morris as my running backs? Could you even imagine if I had told you that? with Josh Gordon as well and John Brown? Like, this is a team you could have drafted a few years ago. But it is a team that's going to be useful now. So let's get a wide receiver. AJ Green, Josh Gordon, John Brown, Anthony Miller. Definitely has some risk, so we're going to need someone. Dede has the upside. I think Cole's a better pick, but Cole goes way earlier as well. You need to also see the time here. Yeah, it gets gross. So it's definitely between Dede and John Brown. John Ross. Who? I think they're just too low of a volume offense. So I'm going to... Oh, I can't do that. In a vacuum, you take John Ross, but I can't draft AJ Green as well. So although they're going to be a lower volume offense, we got to pick Dede there. And I'm fine with that. Like, 10th round for Dede, he has the upside to be the second best, or to be the best wide receiver. He, I think, is the second best right now. I think he's better than Moncrief, and we know that Marquise Lee's out for the year. So he could put together some numbers. I don't think that it's likely, but he's got upside at that spot. I think Sutton would be the next guy that we want here, though. Or Sanu. I mean, Sanu's going to be involved in the offense. We should look at quarterback, though, because that is dangerous going too far here. Yeah, that's dangerous. So I really like this Dalton. I think that Sam Darnold, honestly, can be drafted. He looks fine, and they're going to lose a lot of games, so he's going to throw. You could start Tyrod and then just transition into Baker when he takes over. But it's either Trubisky. Man, the Bears are going to be good. I want to see what they're... I think I might take the over on the Bears this season. I wanted to do it at the start of the summer, And now that they got a lot better on defense with Khalil Mack, they probably got bet up. So I don't think I can do it anymore. But they're going to be good. I just think that Howard's more the guy to own on that team. And I have Anthony Miller, so I mean that's a hedge there. But it's between those guys, but I think it's Dalton. And hear me out on why I think Dalton can be start worthy, because they're going to use Eifert only in the red zone as like a I think Matt Kelly pointed this out, like a late season. Was it Matt Kelly? No, I think it was Evan Silva. But anyways, a late season Antonio Gates, who's now also back with the Chargers. But you know how late in the season or late in his career they were using Gates just in the red zone, basically. They're trying to do that with Eifert, which is very interesting, because if he can stay healthy for the full year and catch all those touchdowns, that's going to really help Dalton. And we know they have a deep threat with Ross. We know AJ Green's looked awesome in the preseason. So Dalton's perfectly fine in the 11th round here. I would probably recommend taking 2 quarterbacks in a league this deep, because that would be scary if he got hurt. But we also need to look at tight end. I'm still cool here. I don't think someone's going to draft. I know it's Clay and it's Ricky Seals and it's Jared Cook. Then it's real gross. I don't think I would risk that. If this was my draft, I don't think I would risk it at this point. I would just take Clay. Wow, that's going to be scary. I think people are going to draft multiple. Okay, so we might not be able to go too heavy early on. But Clay and Ricky Seals, I'm perfectly comfortable with. All right. Yeah. It looks like the computer is taking 2, though. So that's good, but I need to pay attention to that, because that'll be frightening because there's a scenario where people are drafting and I have to start like Ryan Griffin and Lamar Jackson, and then I lose. So there will be values, definitely, but definitely don't have to take defense kicker or anything. Oh, I didn't even realize. Okay, so we had already filled up a ton. I didn't realize that. So who do we have? McCaffrey, Rex Burkhead, Peyton Barber, Adrian Peterson, Morris. Would I feel comfortable ending with that? I think so. I think I'd feel comfortable with that. AJ Green, Josh Gordon, John Brown, Anthony Miller, Dede. I feel like I would want one more, and I would probably just want to take Courtland Sutton there, unless he's already been drafted. And I don't remember where he was. It's possible he was already drafted. Rats. Okay, he was drafted. Who would we pick otherwise? Oh, Tyrell. You would just take Tyrell here. Yeah. Tyrell Williams, and then even in a deep league, you don't have to touch defense, and we can actually just take the Bears because they're going to be good. They were already an okay defense beforehand, and then getting Khalil Mack, who's like one of the best defenders in the league, that's really good. So I'm cool with the Bears. Other defenses I kind of take late are the Packers, the Cowboys. Why were defenses going so early in this draft? I didn't even notice that. That might happen, but I've been getting the Chargers late, the Rams late, the Ravens late, not the Jaguars, the Eagles late. So those are just some of the guys that I've been drafting. But let's look through. So week 1, we would start Dalton, AJ Green, Josh Gordon, McCaffrey, Rex Burkhead. The flex would either be Barber or John Brown. I'd have to look at the matchup. Bench would be either the Barber or John Brown with AP, with Alfred Morris. So running backs are set. Anthony Miller, Dede Westbrook, Tyrell Williams. Okay, it's not a dominant team, but you're not going to get a dominant team in a league this deep. I feel comfortable with this team, but I have to pay attention. Like, I'll be perfectly fine getting this Dalton Clay, but had I been stuck with, like, I guess even Trubisky went real late, but I don't want to only have Baker Mayfield because he's not a starting quarterback yet. I don't want to have to start Mike Gesicki every week. So I have to pay attention to that. But that's it. That's the team, and that's the last Mock Draft Monday. Tomorrow will be a video. I don't know what it is. I don't remember what it is. I know we're doing bold predictions and some like tips to start the season. I think those are the two things are. I think tomorrow's tips and Wednesday's bold predictions. But that's it. That is the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys did well in your drafts this past weekend. But that's it.